io vorrei riassumere 3 punti che mi pare molto importanti, che emergono da questa, direi, esegesi coranica, no? Nello spazio di Wings of Unity, chiamiamolo così. Primo, questa conclusione molto importante, la distinzione, no, tra gli angeli e quindi anche l'angelo Gabriele, che nella tradizione coranica, no, è l'angelo che trasmette la rivelazione, no? Il Corano, e lo Spirito Santo. Lo Spirito che viene da Dio, lo Spirito di santità, questa natura, come tu l'hai chiamato, no? Questa natura misteriosa. Questo mi pare molto importante. E secondo, che è molto importante anche per noi cristiani, no? Nella nostra fede cristiana, il secondo punto è il rapporto dello Spirito con Gesù da un lato e con Maria dall'altro, ovviamente collegato ma anche distinto, no? E quindi anche questo sottolineato, no? Queste 4 volte che il Corano parla dello Spirito Santo, 3 volte in riferimento a Gesù, no? Questo è interessante perché vuol dire, lo dico in una maniera molto ampia, no? Vuol dire una azione, infatti ho visto nel Corano un versetto che dice che attribuiva a Gesù il titolo di Messia, al Massia, e vuol dire l'unto dello Spirito, la tradizione ebraica, quindi vuol dire e questo vuol dire una presenza dello Spirito, un'azione dello Spirito. E terzo, diciamo che è da approfondire, ma si capisce in questo spazio, è la distinzione tra Gesù e lo Spirito. Cioè da un lato Gesù è Ruach Allah, no? Da un lato, no? E dall'altra parte però è anche distinto, perché è lo Spirito che lo fa Messia. Quindi c'è anche non c'è una identificazione, no? Non so se interpreto bene. Ecco. E su questa linea, no? Lasciando aperto queste sono grosse acquisizioni, io devo dire è molto importante, su questa linea, a quello che tu dicevi, quarto punto potremmo dire, questa, diciamo, azione, potremmo chiamarla escatologica, la tesi che sta facendo Piero, no? Cioè lo spirito, no? che spinge, tu dici, verso una connessione, verso un rapporto nell'amore sempre più pieno con Dio e con l'unità di Dio, e quindi tra di noi, no? Ora, queste sono 4, non so come dire, 4 pilastri molto importanti, fondamentali. Io ti farei una domanda ulteriore, se su questo ho interpretato bene, no? Questi 4 steps.
I'm not sure if I understood correctly, but I think was
yes, yeah. E la questione vorrei capire, per approfondirlo, per capire, no? Perché lo spirito nella tradizione ebraica, cristiana e anche vostra islamica, per esempio nel credo cristiano si dice lo Spirito Santo che ha parlato per mezzo dei profeti, no? Lo recitiamo, ha parlato per mezzo dei profeti. E non si parla solo dei profeti dell'Antico Testamento, ma si parla dei profeti, tutti i profeti, anche continua a parlare attraverso i profeti. C'è un testo per noi importante del Concilio Vaticano II, nella Costituzione sulla Chiesa, la Lumen Gentium, che dice: Dio continua a parlare attraverso di noi, attraverso le figure, non usa la parola profeti, ma dice testimoni, eccetera, eccetera. Io penso per esempio a Chiara, per dire, e in questa linea è proprio un fatto, noi diciamo, teologico, dottrinale. Pensiamo a un Francesco, e voi della vostra tradizione. Ora, in questa logica, il Muhammad, il profeta Muhammad, no? Come dire, è da interpretare appunto come un profeta dello spirito che come dire, ha continuato questa opera. Ecco. E quindi come tu vedi, come voi vedete il rapporto tra perché è chiaro che c'è questa grande corrente di azione dello spirito che parte da Abramo, va avanti, Mosè, i profeti di Israele, in Gesù c'è questa con Maria, eccetera, e continua questa corrente di profeti, eccetera, per arrivare fino a noi. E allora è evidente che qui, se è così, lo spazio descritto dall'azione dello Spirito nella storia attraverso i suoi profeti, come dire, è lo spazio in cui ci incontriamo, in cui camminiamo verso. E allora dobbiamo sempre di più come dire, capirci, capire qual è il messaggio che ogni tradizione, ogni profezia porta, anche, come dire, secondo quel principio di San Paolo che citavo, non restando legati alla lettera, no? Ma, come dire, cercando di interpretare cosa lo spirito, dove la direzione, non so come dire. Tu stesso, no, dicevi, nella Shia, la Shia rappresenta una interpretazione come dire, autorevole del dettato profetico, una interpretazione. No? Non so se quello che volevo chiederti, ecco, è giusta questa interpretazione per voi in riferimento al profeta Muhammad? Il rapporto con lo spirito, quale rapporto lui ha con lo spirito quale rapporto ha con lui?
So the question is
The relation between the Holy Spirit and Muhammad.
yes. Yeah. So one of those verses was about the Holy Spirit bringing the Quran, and we believe that he was also supported by the Holy Spirit, but the reason for emphasizing more on Jesus maybe was because not many people knew Jesus enough. So for Muslims to think that the Prophet was supported by the Holy Spirit was very natural. But the Quran wants to emphasize that Jesus was first of all supported by the Holy Spirit, and many of these verses actually are in response to those who didn't believe in Jesus.
Yeah. Exactly.
So God is saying that, I spoke to Moses, I supported Jesus with the Holy Spirit. Why you choose one, not the other?
Okay.
Yeah. And also, in our understanding of the degrees of the prophets, Jesus comes very, very high. Maybe we can so this is also very important. So it's not that, for example, God spoke to Moses and also supported Jesus and they are equal. I think maybe it's difficult to say, but I think this would be natural to think that Jesus is higher than Moses, or almost all the prophets.
Yeah.
So it's very important for us to know that he was very special.
Yeah.
And also, we believe that Jesus' role is not finished.
Yeah.
All the prophets completed their job.
Yeah.
But Jesus is still to come back, and he has a great role still to play. So plan of God for humanity would not end and materialize without Jesus coming back.
No.
Yeah. And this is why we believe that Jesus and Imam Mahdi will be together. And these two being together will bring all the true believers in Jesus and in the Imam together. But what I try to also understand from this, that this cannot happen miraculously. Overnight, people who have never had unity or love, all of a sudden when Jesus comes and Imam Mahdi comes, then they say, okay, we want to be together. If this was going to happen by miracle, God could have done it before. We need to be prepared. So this is why I have extra reason to work especially for unity of Muslims and Christians. Although I love unity of all believers and all human beings, different levels, but I think unity of Muslims and Christians is very, very important for plan of God to happen. And it is interesting that sometimes I was saying, if today we hear that the Pope and Grand Ayatollah, they are going to work together and solve the problems together, we cannot believe. Say either he's not a genuine Pope or he's not a genuine Ayatollah. Because our mindset is not ready to see them working together. So when I heard about the Pope going to Iraq and visiting the Grand Ayatollah, Ayatollah Sistan, I thought this is hopefully an act that is act of God.
Yeah, exactly.
Because this is a great step toward reaching the point that they work together. And I was very worried that maybe something happens last minute, to cancel this, corona or, security risk. So I told our group, please keep praying that this meeting happens. And when they met, because of time difference, we were in the UK, so they met early morning for us. And I saw the picture, then I was relaxed. No one now can change the history. One Pope has met one Grand Ayatollah in his house. With love, with unity, with respect, and holding hands of each other, two hands, Politicians don't do this, Men of God can do this.
Yes.
And then I heard from my friends, Catholic friends, there was a person who was traveling with a Pope. So before his travel, he contacted me to know more about the Ayatollah, etc. And he said all the advisors of the Pope were against this trip at this time and this situation. But he felt he has to go even if it's putting his life in danger. So I think he was inspired, by God, to take this initiative with all the risk. So we need to move to this direction. We need to prepare. If we had not worked in different countries for Muslim-Christian relations, Pope was not able to go and do this, unless millions of criticism were coming to him. But now people are happy. Most of people are happy because lots of work has taken place that prepared the minds, at least for this meeting.
Thank you very much. Very important. Very important. I think the next steps of our trip in Wings of Unity is the eschatological dimension. In a historical way, historical way of life, but is this. Thank you very much. I am very happy. It's beautiful. This vision, this encounter. Thank you.
We conclude here, probably. Can I say one thing?
Yeah.
It is also, since it's Wings of Unity, it's part also of... meglio se parlo italiano o inglese? Allora parlo italiano. Inglese? Va bene. Allora, since Wings of Unity, it's a project, it's an experience, but we have students from Sophia, also from the School of Formation of the Focolarini. And in Sophia, a much debated topic, let's say, and I believe also in the School of the Focolarini, is the aspect of interculturality. Here we come from so many different cultures, and we we are all Christians in Loppiano, but the cultures are very different. And this doesn't make life so easy very often. Also here in Sophia, in the residencies. And one of the topics, for instance, with my students that we have taken during the year is exactly this aspect. Why I'm saying this? Wings of Unity is a great help for us to understand the difficulty, but also the richness of our diversities. Our Muslim brothers and sisters probably struggle when we speak as Christians and as Catholics to find references, direct references in their minds, in the quotations, in the imagery. Because our language, our imagery, our references are completely different from the one of the Muslim background or the Shia. Sunnis would be, again, probably more different. The same when a Muslim speaks, for all of us Christians, it's difficult to relate. We may like what he or she says, but it's difficult to find the link, to strike the wavelength. We have to struggle within ourselves, within our minds. And in this sense, the atmosphere that we create in Wings of Unity is a great help, because there is trust, there is, we can say, mutual love, there is mercy, all aspects of love. I feel that this is one of the great assets of Wings of Unity, because it gives us the possibility, like a training ground, like a gym, the possibility of experiencing, listening to someone not only of another culture, but also of another religion, speaking of his religion, of her religion. And it helps us to struggle positively and not, let's say, giving way to that reaction that unavoidably each one of us has when we hear something which is different from our own background, from our own structure of our mind. So I was wondering, and I was reflecting on this while you were speaking, with gratitude to you, also gratitude to Piero, but gratitude also to God, to the Holy Spirit, because this is a real training ground for all of us to become more open to this process, which is not taken for granted, is not easy. There was a French philosopher last century who said that each one of us has a prejudice against the other culture or the other religion. And when we encounter a man or a woman or a group of people of that religion, we have to suspend, put aside that prejudice. Now, the prejudice is unavoidable. We have it, willingly or unwillingly. So I saw that this morning was a great experience from this viewpoint, because to many of us, probably all the quotations of the Quran were new, also done the way you did. And probably for the Muslim sisters and brothers was different also the way of proceeding of Piero. So it's a reflection, but just to help all of us to appreciate also from the academic viewpoint, with the experience at the root, the significance, the meaning, the richness of an experience of this kind.
Qualcuno vuole dire
Say something for 2 minutes.
Okay. Abdullah?
Yes.
Yes.
Student of Sophia.
I say
And
Yes.
with your, we conclude, because then we have a small think to finish here and then we go for lunch. Go ahead, Abdullah.
Thank you. I will literally take not more than 2 minutes, maybe 1 minute. I just wanted, first of all, thank you very much. Thank you for Piero and to Dr. Shomali for your wonderful words. I'm not going to say nothing more for timing reason, but really thank you from the deep of my heart. Thanks.
Abdullah, thank you. Thank you. You are a student of Sophia, but do you live in Abu Dhabi?
This is my first year of PhD in economics in Sophia, and I live since 20 years in Dubai.
Dubai.
Yeah. So I just wanted to say, it will take just a minute. My observation, listening to you, both of you, and also Roberto, thank you very much, and all the people who are there for this very important meeting. Why it is very important? Why it is really very, very important? Because I noticed, being a non-believer, the failure of the politics. I am involved in social activism, politics, volunteering since when I was very young. And I can witness, as you also can, anyone can, that today in this situation, politics had failed. We do not have enough good politicians, at least those who rule. So, and I conclude, this is why I recognize and I am happy that people, religious people, people of faith like you, but also the Imam Sistani or the Grand Imam of Al-Azhar or Pope Francis and any other religious leader can be our only hope to reach peace and coexistence in this, which I call global madness. That's it. So, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.